All right, let's jump right into today's explainer, where we are totally deconstructing the exact blueprint of a highly structured, long-form digital content prompt. We're looking at a really fascinating piece of source material today. It's basically the DNA of modern digital content creation. Instead of just throwing a generic, hey, write me a script command at a screen, this source material provides a rigid, highly architectural framework. It is literally a masterclass in how to dictate tone, structure, and output. So we're going to pop the hood and look at exactly what goes into engineering this kind of high-level content. To really wrap our heads around this framework, we're going to break it down into three quick buckets. 1. The ultimate script goal. 2. Strict generation rules. And 3. Essential content elements. Okay, let's kick things off with section 1, the ultimate script goal, setting the baseline for the exact parameters this blueprint demands right out of the gate. Right off the bat, the instruction assigns a super strict dual persona. It explicitly commands the creator to act as both a professional YouTube scriptwriter and a finance educator. And this isn't just about throwing facts onto a page. By demanding this dual role, the prompt ensures that the final output is going to have the engaging, high-retention pacing of a professional scriptwriter, perfectly married to the authoritative, pedagogical tone of a finance educator. It's setting a very specific psychological baseline for the whole piece. In all of that highly specialized expertise, it is being channeled into one specific hyper-focused brand identity. The source dictates that this content is being written exclusively for a channel named Personal Finance and Investing. Every single word, every example, and every structural choice requested is anchored to this specific niche. It ensures the content absolutely doesn't wander off into general lifestyle advice. It stays laser-focused on wealth building, market dynamics, and money management. Now, what's genuinely fascinating here is the sheer scale of the request. The prompt strictly requires a final output that equates to exactly 20 minutes of runtime. And let's be real, in the world of digital content, 20 minutes is a massive commitment from an audience. It requires a serious amount of depth, structure, and pacing to keep anyone engaged for that long. It isn't asking for a quick, bite-sized tip. It is demanding a comprehensive, deep-dive educational session. To physically achieve that 20-minute duration, the blueprint sets a massive volume target, anywhere from 3,500 to 4,000 words in English. This is where the sheer ambition of this prompt really comes into focus. 4,000 words is basically the length of a university term paper or a solid chapter in a book. It's a highly specific, quantitative metric that leaves absolutely zero room for ambiguity. If you get an output of 2,000 words, it has objectively failed the prompt's criteria. So, because pushing a system to generate 4,000 words all at once usually stretches its limits, let's look at Section 2, Strict Generation Rules. This is where the blueprint builds a rigid operational framework to solve that exact volume problem. The negative constraints laid out here are absolutely vital. It explicitly states, in all caps, mind you, do not summarize the script and do not shorten any section. This is a brilliant defense mechanism against the tendency of systems, or honestly even fatigued human writers, to just rush to the finish line when faced with a huge word count. Instead, it forces the creator to write the script in multiple, distinct parts. The framework provides a really precise sequential loop to manage this. Step 1, start with part 1 only, capping in around 1,000 words. Step 2 requires a complete halt. You literally have to babysit the process and wait for the exact message continue before you're allowed to move on. And Step 3 dictates that this process just repeats until all parts are completed. It's a highly controlled, iterative workflow. By forcing this pause and prompt mechanism, the architect of this blueprint ensures the quality stays consistently high across all 4,000 words, rather than fizzling out halfway through. But make no mistake, the instructions are crystal clear on one thing. No matter how many segmented 1,000-word parts it takes to get there, the overarching rule remains intact. The final combined script absolutely must hit that daunting 3,500 to 4,000-word target. It all has to stitch together seamlessly to become that comprehensive masterclass. The modular generation is just a tool to get there. The final product still has to be a singular, cohesive monolith. Moving into our final part, Section 3. Essential content elements. We need to look beyond that rigid length and examine what actually makes up the stylistic heart of those 4,000 words. The foundational narrative has to be deeply engaging. The source explicitly lists the mandatory creative ingredients: a powerful hook to grab attention right away, a clear introduction, detailed explanations to actually fulfill that finance educator role we talked about, real-life examples to ground the theory, practical tips for the viewer, and curiosity hooks spread throughout. Think about how meticulously designed this is. It isn't just asking for information to be dumped on a page. It is demanding the specific psychological triggers that actually keep a viewer hooked for 20 straight minutes. And remember, we are engineering a highly produced script here, not an essay. So from a production standpoint, the blueprint goes even further. The script must perfectly format smooth transitions, include specific B-roll suggestions to guide the visual edit, wrap up with a motivational conclusion, and deliver a highly structured call to action, specifically demanding a like, comment, share, and subscribe. The prompt is effectively forcing the generator to act as the video editor and the director, pre-planning the entire visual and emotional flow right there in the text. So looking at how meticulously this checklist dictates every single word, pause, and creative element, it leaves us asking one really big question. Is this level of engineered rigidity the ultimate secret behind modern digital content success? By defining the persona, locking down the exact length, structuring the workflow, and demanding every single narrative and production element in advance, this prompt leaves absolutely nothing to chance. It takes the subjective art of content creation and turns it into an exact, repeatable science. It completely reframes how we should think about structuring our own workflows. Imagine what you could build if you designed your instructions with this level of absolute precision.